Today I'm going to be making this beautiful shadow box out of 1/8 inch basswood. I will walk you through all the steps from downloading the design to cutting it with the laser and putting it all together. Let's get started. For this project, I will be using the following materials: 1/8 inch sheets of basswood, an 8x8 shadow box frame, acid-free tape, a 4x6 photo, black spray paint, hot pink spray paint, and white spray paint. Now let's download the project. Once you have downloaded the file, you'll notice that it comes in a zip format. In order to load it into Lightburn, you will have to extract the file first. So you are going to right-click the file, click Extract All, and click Extract. Once the file is extracted, I like to make a separate folder. This helps me find the file easier later on. I'm going to drag my file into the new folder, and now we can head over to Lightburn. Now let's load the file into Lightburn. I'm going to go over to the top left corner, click File, Open, and click on my new folder, Crafty Cat SVG. Once you click on the file, it will show you the different photo options for this frame. I will be using the one photo option. Here is the Lightburn file. Double-click to load it into Lightburn. Once the design is loaded, you can see that everything is in a different color. On the right-hand side, you can see that each color is listed here. Each color represents a layer of the shadow box that we will be cutting. The design is loaded as an 8x8 inch project. If you need to resize it, you can do so by selecting all of the layers and adjusting the width and height up here. For example, if you are working with a 10x10 inch frame, you'll want to keep the aspect ratio locked. That way the height and width change proportionally. If you are working with an 8x10 inch frame, you'll want to unlock the aspect ratio. That way you can change the dimensions individually. I will be changing it back to 8x8 inches for this project. Since the design has multiple layers, it's important to cut each layer individually. You can separate the layers by using the Cuts and Layers panel on the right-hand side. To choose a layer, you will need to hold down the Shift key and click on a color. This will select everything in that color for you to move. Repeat this with the rest of the layers. You'll notice that some of these layers have a number on the bottom right-hand corner. These numbers help keep track of the layers and ensures the correct order when assembling. This layer does not have a number on it, which means it is the top layer. Once this layer is cut and assembled, it will cover the numbers underneath. Now let's talk about cut settings. Every laser is different, so make sure you refer to your laser's manufacturer for recommended settings. Once you know your settings, you can adjust them on the Cuts and Layers panel on the right-hand side. My laser settings for 1/8 inch basswood is 12 speed and 25 power. Since I am using the same material for each layer, my settings will be the same straight down. Again, every laser is different, so please refer to your laser's manufacturer for recommended settings. Now let's set up the workspace. This area represents the laser's workspace. Anything you place in this area will be processed by the laser. I am going to move all of the layers outside of the workspace so I can work with each layer individually. Once the layers are moved, I will select Layer 1 and drag it into the workspace. I like to place the design in the top right corner. This helps me align the wood on the laser bed more easily later on. The laser bed is the physical workspace where the basswood will sit to be cut. Since I placed the design in the top right corner of the workspace, I will place the basswood in the top right corner of the laser bed. I like to use these magnets to hold the basswood in place. This ensures that the basswood stays flat and keeps it from shifting during the cutting process. Once everything is aligned and secured, I will go back onto Lightburn and click Start. After cutting each layer, go back into Lightburn, clear the workspace, and repeat the process for each layer in the design. And just like that, our layers are cut. Here we have layer number 1, layer number 2, layer number 3, and this is layer number 4. It doesn't have a number on it. That way it will cover the numbers underneath. And here is our border. Now let's paint our layers. Now it's time to add some color. I am using black, white, and hot pink. You can get creative here with your choice of colors. Now let's add the photo. There are a couple ways to do this. You can either tape the photo behind layer number 2 or on top of layer number 1. I will be taping mine to the back of layer number 2. I am going to flip this photo around and add acid-free tape to the top and another piece to the bottom. Now I'm going to place the photo behind layer number 2 and align it. Once the photo is where I want it, I'm going to press down on the tape. Now it's time to assemble the shadow box. Now let's assemble the shadow box. I'm going to flip this frame around and open the tabs to remove the backing. You can also remove this sheet of paper. We will not be using it. There is also a spacer on the inside of the frame that we will not be using. The basswood is thick enough to fill in the shadow box, so we will not need it for this project. I will be stacking the layers one by one inside the frame, starting with the border and followed by layers 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's put the back piece into the frame and push the tabs down to lock everything in place. The shadow box is now complete.